Hello, it's Gem Games here once again, and in this video we are going to add double points to the game and actually add the functionality to the player HUD so we can actually see the double points icon on the screen. So yeah, let's get started. First, you want to go to the link in the description and go to my Google Drive, and you want to download these double points and insta-kill icons that I have made. Okay, and when you have done that, then you want to go to your resources folder and you want to create a new folder here, and let's call it icons. Now let's open it and let's import those icons here. Okay, now when that's done, we want to do one thing so we can add the X2 like mesh to the power up actor. So you want to go to the plugins and you want to search for 3D text, and here we have this text 3D text generator, and you want to turn it on, and then you have to restart your editor. Save. And when you have done that, then we can continue. And if you for some reason cannot use the plugin, if it's not supported on your version of Unreal Engine, then you can just use 2D text render, so it actually doesn't matter. Okay, let's go to the interactables folder and to the power-ups, and here let's get the, for example, the max ammo and duplicate it, and let's call this double points, like that. Now let's open it. Okay, let's go to the viewport. Now, here where we have the static mesh, we can actually delete this. Okay, now let's click the mesh pivot, and let's add, and let's search for 3D text 3D, this one. Okay, now what we want to do, we want to set the horizontal alignment to center and vertical alignment to center, like that. And now what I want to do is, let's set the text, let's put here X2, like that. Okay, and now that we have done that, I want to set this scale to 0.8, so make sure that the lock is locked and type in 0.8. Okay, I think that's good size for it. Now let's compile and let's move it to here, and let's open our first person map. And now what we want to do is we want to go to the where is it? Yeah, here, props, the props folder, and let's actually create a new material. Let's call it power up underscore mat, or like mat, like that. Okay, let's open it. Let's keep 3 pressed and left click, so we get this constant 3 vector, and let's connect this one to the base color. And now we actually want to go to our, for example, to our nukes material, and want to copy these nodes that we have set here. Okay, now we can close this, and let's paste them here. Okay, and we want to connect this to the emissive color, like that. And now let's change this color to some shade of gray, like I think something like that should be pretty much okay. Okay, now let's apply and save. And actually, let's also save all, just to be sure. Now we can close this. Now we want to go back to the double points actor, and here we have this front material. Let's search for power, and I will actually copy this power text because we have to do this 4 times. Control C, and let's select this. Also here, this, that, and like that. Okay. And what I want to do here next is I want to set this X location to -2. So it should be around the middle. Okay, and I will actually check the mesh pivot. Okay, it's pretty much there. It's pretty okay. Now we want to go, actually let's compile and save, and let's go to the event graph. And here at the bottom we have all this begin overlap functionality. We want to delete this set max ammo from here. And yeah, that's all for now. Let's compile and save. Now what we want to do, we want to go back to the first person map and to the blueprints. And now we want to go, actually we want to be here. Let's create a new structure. So let's search for structure like that. And now we want to rename this to power up, or maybe up underscore struct like that. And now let's open it. And we want to add here a few things. The first one should be called index, and it should be type integer. Okay. Now let's add another one. Let's call this name. We don't actually need this, but that makes it easier later on when we're scrolling through our data table. So yeah, let's change this type to text, and let's add one more. And this should be called icon. And we want to change this type to slate pros. So this one, slate pros. Okay, now we can save and close and go back to here. And what we want to do now, we want to create a data table. Data table. So this one, data table. And now we want to search for our power up struct. And we want to select that one and then click OK. Okay. Now we want to rename it power up TT. Okay. Let's open it. Now we want to add here 2 rows. First one, let's change the row name to 1 and also the index to 1. Okay, we have to change it here. I know there are like much easier ways of doing this, but let's do it this way. Oh, maybe not like easier, but different ways. So now the row name is 1 and index is 1. And now let's change this name to DoublePoints. This is just for us, this name, so we can later on see like what all these things are here. And now the icon, let's open this and select the DoublePoints texture, that one. Okay. Now we want to set this image size to 80 and also this to 80, like that. Now we can save and actually close. We can leave that second row as it is because we will do it on the next episode. Okay. Now we want to go to our first person character. So this one, let's open it. Now that we are here, we want to create a new function. Let's call it add power up. Add power up. Okay, let's add a one input. Let's call it power up index. And let's change the type to integer, like that. And now from the start, we want to promote it to a local variable. And also let's call the local variable power up index. And if you cannot call it that way, add a space after. So then you can, because they have the same name, so sometimes it doesn't let you do it. Okay. Now what we want to do, we want to go to the event graph. And we want to find some empty space. I want to go here. And now what we want to do here is let's create a custom event. And let's call it power up set timer. Okay. And now we also want to add a one input here. That should be called power up index also. Okay. Now what we want to do, we want to get from this one, from the input, and we want to switch from switch on into this one. Okay, let's add a one pin. So pin 0. Or actually we want to add another one because we want to use the pin 1. Okay. Like that. And now we want to create a timeline. Let's call it like x2 underscore TL, something easy. Now let's connect that play from the start to the 1, like that. Now let's open this, and we can actually leave it to length 5, just for trying or testing. We can later on adjust it to 30 or whatever we want. Now we can close that. Let's go back to the event graph. And yeah, now we actually want to go back to the add power up. Okay, and here we want to call that power up set timer. And let's connect this to here, like that. Let's compile and actually save all. And now we actually have to create a few arrays. So let's create a new variable. Let's call this power ups, or maybe power up array. And now I want to change this type to power up struct, this one. Okay, and from here we want to change the single to array, like that. Now let's compile and save. And now we want to duplicate this from here, and let's call this power up in use. Okay, and now we want to change this type to boolean and array, so like that. Now let's add here, like for example, 5 indexes. So from 0 to 4, you can add however many you want, but you just have to have some indexes here when we are using the code that we create now. Okay, let's leave it like that. So basically we just now only need the 0 and 1, but let's add 5. Okay, the next thing we want to do, we want to get the power up in use, and we want to get from it. And now we want to get the local variable power up index from here, connect it to there. And now we want to get from this, not boolean, and add a branch. So if the power up is not in use, then we can, oh, actually we don't have to do it. Let's delete the not there. Okay, so power up in use, if it is true, then let's actually do the false one first. So, okay, let's get data table row, this at the bottom, and let's connect it to the false. Then we want to select the power up data table. And now we want to get the power up index, and we want to string. Let's move this to here. And now we want to connect this there. Okay. I don't know why the Unreal Engine doesn't let you change from integer to a name like straight away why we have to do this. But it works, so it doesn't matter. Let's compile and actually save all. And I will actually quickly go open the window of my apartment because it's pretty hot here. And I'm back. So yeah, the next thing we want to do, we want to get the power up array. Get it up here, and we want to add to it. So this one. And now row found, let's connect it to here, and the out row to here, like that. The next thing we want to do is we want to get all widgets of class. Sorry if I'm being a little bit weird. I'm a little bit tired, but yeah, let's do this. And now what we want to get the player HUD. So this one, let's compile and save. Okay, and actually now what we want to do, we want to go back here, and from the true, we want to connect it straight away to the get all widget of class. Now let's add a reroute to there and move it to here. Maybe like that. So if we don't have the power up in use, then we want to set it in use. Well, basically this doesn't yet do it completely, but yeah, this is one part of it. And if we have it in use, then we want to skip that part. Okay, let's compile and save. Now we want to actually go to our PlayerHud. So let's go to the HUD folder and PlayerHud. Let's open it. Sorry about that. And here we want to actually, let's create the slot or the grid for the power-ups. So yeah, let's go to our designer and let's add a uniform grid panel, this one. And let's get it to here. Now let's select the anchor to the center bottom, like there. And let's change the position to 0 and 0, and size to, I want to make it like 480 or something. It actually doesn't matter, but let's do it that way. And size Y, 80. Okay. And now what else do I want to do here? I actually want to open this slot padding and set this right to 10, like that. Or 20 or whatever, but let's first make it 10. Now the alignment, let's make it 0.5. And from here, let's make it 2. So it should be around there. You can obviously put it wherever you want, but I will put it here. Later on we can adjust it if you want. And now what we want to do, we'll actually have to check. I think that's all for this. Now we want to click the size to content, like that. Now it goes invisible, but we can see it here. So now let's change its name to power up grid, and let's make it a variable, is variable true, like that. Compile and let's save all once more. I've been starting to saving all as often as I can remember, because Unreal has been crashing so much, like 10 times a day or something like that. So it's annoying if I lose some progress because of that. So yeah, you should also do that whenever you can. Okay, let's go back to the graph. And here at the graph, we want to actually create a function. The function should be called update power ups. And actually I don't have to use that underscore here. Oh, I used somewhere. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, now let's open it and let's add first one input. Let's call it power up index. And let's make the type integer, like that. Compile and save. Let's add another one, and let's call it add, and let's make the type boolean. Now let's add yet another one, and let's call it in use already, and it should be type boolean. Now one more. Let's call this remove underscore index, and let's change the type to integer. Okay, compile and save. And now from the start we want to promote this power up index to a local variable. And now once again we want to change its name to power up index. Let's add a space so it works. And now to add, we want to add a branch to here. So keep the B pressed and left click if you didn't know. And now let's connect this condition to the add. Let's add a reroute here so it looks cleaner, maybe like that. And, or actually, let's move it there, like that. Now let's compile and save once more. And now what we want to do here, we want to actually add another branch here after. From the true, we want to connect it to the here. This condition, we want to connect it to the all is in use already. Now let's add another reroute, maybe here. Okay, and now actually let's, yeah, so we want to go from the false, so from this one. And we want to create widget like this. And we didn't actually create that yet, but we'll create it now. So let's compile and save all once more. Okay, we got an error because we haven't selected anything, but yeah, let's go back and now let's create a widget blueprint and type user widget like that. And let's call this power up slot. Now let's open it. And what we want to do here, we actually first want to get a canvas panel here. And let's from here fill screen. We want to change it to custom. Let's change the size to 80 and 80. Okay, now we can zoom in a little bit. Now what we want to do, we want to actually add a size box. Let's add it to here. And we actually want to anchor it in the middle. And let's change the position 0, 0, size to 80, 80, and these to 0.5, 0.5. So it's in the middle. Okay, compile and save once more. Now what we have to do, we want to get an image, and let's move it to here. So it's on the size box. Now let's rename this to an icon. Now let's make it a variable, and it already is. Okay, compile and save. And what we want to do now is we actually, actually we don't want to do anything. Let's go to the graph. I'm not sure if I have to do anything here. Let's actually go back to the designer and let's create a quick animation. Let's call it add anim or something like that. Now let's click the icon and track, and now we can add the icon to here like that. Let's just create a simple, let's add a here transform. Now let's open it and, or actually let's click the control and set. Let's go back. Let's add a render opacity from here. Yeah, just for testing purpose. We can change it later on. So let's make it 1 first, and from the like 2-second mark, let's make it, let's add a key so it's 1 still. Now let's make it fade away until like 5 seconds. So let's make it 0. So now it looks like this. Am I on the start here? Okay, it looks like this. It will start to fade away in after 2 seconds. Okay, this is just for testing, but yeah, let's compile and save. Okay, let's go to the graph and let's delete both of these construct and tick. The tick and the pre-construct. We need to construct one. And now from the construct, we want to play animation like this. And now we want to get the add anim connected to the animation like that. Now let's align this. Let's add a custom event. And let's call it, for example, update. And we can connect it to there also like that. Let's compile and save. Okay, I think this part is done basically. So we can close this slot now. So now we are here at the PlayerHud and we have created this widget from the false. So now we want to select the power up slot like that. compile and save. Now from the return value we want to get a icon, the icon that we created. I want to get it, and then we want to set brush like that. Connect it to there. Okay, and now what we want to do, let's actually move this a little bit further. Now what we want to do, so we get the image for it, we have to get our SPP first person character reference, and we want to get from here power up array, this one. And from here we want to get, and then we want to get from this array, we want to get length, and then from the length we want to minus, and we want to minus 1, because if it's length 1 then the index is 0, so minus 1, and let's connect this to the index here. Okay, and now we want to break this, so split struct bin, and now from the icon we want to connect it to the int brush like that. Compile and save. And now what we want to do, we actually have to, we want to get the power up grid to here, and we want to add child to uniform grid, this one. Okay, let's connect it to here. And now the content, we want to connect this return value content. Let's add some reroutes. I think that looks okay. Not the cleanest, but okay. Compile and save once more. And now we want to connect this value, length -1, to the in column. Okay. And after that, we want to what do we want to do? Oh, let's do it this way. Let's get from the power up grid, and let's promote to a variable. Okay, now we can delete that. Now we have the power up grid variable here, and we want to change this name to slot ref. And now we want to change this type to a array. Compile and save. Okay. And now we want to get this slot ref here, and we want to set array element from here, and we want to connect this return value to the item. Oh, why cannot we do that? Okay, I think I did something incorrectly. Let's delete this and also this slot ref. Let's get from the return value and promote it to a variable like that. And now we can delete it. I think this one, this new where uniform grid slot type. I think this should work. So let's change this type to an array, and let's call it what was it? It was slot underscore ref. Okay. Now let's actually compile and let's get it to here. And now from here, set array element. Now it should work. Yeah, now we can connect it to the item, as you can see. Now let's connect this to here. And now for the index, we want to also connect this length -1 to the index and size to fit. So yeah, this basically creates the widget and adds the image to it from the power up array, because we are adding here the right info to an array. Here it will get the icon and set it to that slot, and now it will add that slot to the grid, and it will get the length, which should be, if we have 1, it should be 1, and then we want -1 because the number starts always encoding from 0, so the first one should be 0. Okay, we want to get the 0, and here set the 0 column. Okay, and here also want to set the 0, and we want to size to fit, so it adds like elements to this array if we don't have space. Okay, that part is done. We can compile and save. And if I'm not completely wrong, I think we can actually get the make the perks or the power-up icons. We can already see them if we. Okay, let's actually do it. I will show you later. Let's complete this code. Okay, so this part is done. So the next thing, if we already have that in use, then what we want to do, we want to go here. We want to get the SPB first person character. And from here, we want to power up array. We want to do a for each loop. Let's connect it to the true. Let's add a reroute. And then we need to compile and we want to split this element. Okay, and now from here, we want to check if this element index is equal to our power up index. So basically we are just searching for that right power up from this array. Okay, I know there are other ways of doing this, but I just wanted to do it this way. Okay, now let's add a branch and connect it to the loop body. So it will check the whole array. And when we find the right one, we want to get the power up grid, this one. And now we want to get child at. We want to connect this array index from the bottom to there. And now from the return, we want to cast to power up slot like this and connect it to the true. Okay, so when we find it, we want to cast to the slot. If you know that there is some easier way of doing this, please let me know, because I didn't find any way. I tried many different ways, but this was the only one that worked correctly. Okay. And now after that, if we already have it, we want to set the timer to 0. So basically we want to, from here, we want to call the update function that we created. Update. Okay. Compile and save. And now, if we are not adding the power up, then we are deleting it, so, or removing it, then we want to get it from this false. The first thing we want to do from that false, we want to get this remove index and promote it to a local variable, like here, right, like that, and get from the false, like that. Let's add a little reroute to here. Move these to maybe here. Okay. And now let's call this variable. Oh, actually, I want to check one thing here. Yeah. Now let's rename this remove underscore index. Oh, what did I do? Remove index. Oh, what? Index. Index. No, not that one. Index. Oh. Index, and let's add a space. Okay. Now let's compile and save. And now from there, we want to get the power up grid once more. Where is it? So it should be here. Power up grid. And we want to remove child at. So this one. And now we want to get the remove index to here. Connect it to the index like that. Let's move this further down and let's connect that from the false, the remove index to here. Okay. And let's move this to here. And now what we want to do is we want to get the slot ref and we want to for each loop. And now what we want to check here is we want to get from the array index, we want to check if it's greater or equal, like that. Now we want to get the remove index. So, like that. And let's add a branch, connect it to the loop body. Okay, like that. Let's actually add a reroute to here. And this, like that. Compile and save once more. And now what we want to do, we want to get from this array element and set column. Which one it is? I think it's this one. Okay, let's set it from the true. Now let's add a reroute to, I don't know, maybe here. And another one to maybe here. And now from here we want to get the get column like this. And actually let's move this a little bit further. Add yet another reroute to here. And actually let's align these. Okay, that's not looking good. Let's make it, okay, that's better. And now from here we want to minus and want to minus 1 and connect it to the in column. Oh shit, I want to, okay, like that. So basically what we're doing here, we're getting the power up grid and the remove index. We're removing the child from the grid. And now when we're getting the slot ref and we are checking if the index is, so if we remove, for example, if we had 3 indexes and we remove the number 2, then we after or when we are at the number 2, it will not do anything before that. When we are at the number 2, then it will set its column 1, like it will move it like one slot to the left. So yeah, it will like reorder the slots. There is like 10 times easier way of doing like inventory, but the way I wanted it to work with the animations, usually we make it like we always clear the inventory or the grid and we recreate it. It's the easiest way, but then the animations don't work correctly. So I think this is pretty much the easiest way to make the animations work correctly for the slots. So yeah, but yeah, now that this part is done, let's compile and save. Now we want to go to the PP first person character. And now after here, get all widgets of class. We want to get and get the 0. And now we want to, we actually have to compile. And then we want to update power-ups. Call that function that we just created. Connect it to there. And now we want to click the add because we are adding right now. And then we want to get the power-up index. We want to get it to here. And also we want to get the power-ups in use. Let's get it to here and actually let's move them further. And now from here we want to get and want to get this index. And also we want to connect to the power-up index up there, like that. And now we want to connect this to the in use already. So, okay. And the remove index, we don't actually have to do anything for that now because we're not removing anything yet. After that, we want to get the power up in use once more. And we want to set array element. Oh, connect it to here. And we want to set it the item to true and size to fit to true and power up index to the index. So let's compile and save. Okay, now if we go back to the double points, what we want to do here is we want to actually here on the begin overlap, we want to get from this one and add power up. Now the power up index that we're adding is 1 as we made it on the, I will show you. First person blueprints here at the weapons, power ups data table here, index 1, DoublePoints. Okay, like that. So, where were we? Oh, DoublePoints, yeah. After that, we want to connect this to the get all widgets of class. And we want to change this text. Let's actually change it to like double points, something like that. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Now we can try and see if it works. It's not complete yet, but we can try it. So let's go to the map and let's add the, let's go to the interactables and power-ups and to the double points. Add it here. And let's make the set value 90 and everything else can be as they are. Or actually I will like to move them, align them a little bit. I like things to be aligned somehow. Okay, that's good enough. Let's save. And actually let's try if it works. You can see the double axis spinning, and if we get this, yeah, you can see we got the, now we have the double points, and you can see it to fade away. But yeah, it doesn't have any functionality yet, and it doesn't actually like got removed after the animation plays. So yeah, let's fix all those things now. So now we want to go to the back to the PP first person character. Yeah, we want to go there. Now we want to go to the functions, and we want to add another function. Now we want to call it delete power up. And after we have done all this, we can actually add as many power-ups as we want, and they will all work with the grid that we have on the PlayerHud. So it will be much easier later on. So okay, let's add one input here, and let's call the input, let's call it just index this time. Okay, and now let's promote it to a local variable, like always. And now let's change this name to power up index. Okay. And now what we want to do, we want to get the power up in use array, and we want to set array element like this. We connect it from there, and we want to connect this to the index. I want to click the size to fit and item to false. Yeah, you heard me right, false. Don't leave it to true or it will not work. Now, let's actually compile and save all once more. Okay, and after this we want to get the power up array, and we want to do a for each loop from here. And now we want to split this array element like that. And now we want to get if it's equal to power up index. So if when we find the right one, this will go true. Yes. And after that, we want to get the power up array, and we want to remove index, this one, connect it to the true. So when we find the right one, we want to get this array index at the bottom and connect it to here to the index. Now let's add a reroute once again. And now what we want to do, we want to actually, oh, that doesn't look good. I want to look better. Oh, okay. Now we want to get from this, and we want to promote this to a local variable. This. Let's add another reroute here. Okay, and now let's rename that local variable to remove underscore index. Now let's compile and save all once more. Now that we have done that, we have to do one more thing. From the completed, we want to get all widgets of class. I want to get PlayerHud. And from the PlayerHud, what we want to do is we want to get 0. And now I think we have to compile, or it doesn't find any results from here. So update power ups, and we want to connect this to here. Now we want to connect the power up index to the power up index, easy as that. And we want to leave the add as false. And here we don't want to add anything. And the remove index, we want to add it to the remove index. Simple as that. And now I actually think this function is basically done. Let's compile and save. Now let's go to the event graph. And after this timeline, we want to call the delete power up from the finished. And the index should be 1 because we're at the 1. Okay. And now let's change this time to 30. And let's compile and save. And now let's go back to the PlayerHud and to the designer, and let's, oh, actually, no, not there. Let's go to the HUD, and we want to go to the power up slot. Sorry about that. And here at anim, we want to delete this from here. And what we want to do here now, let's see. Oh, I think we actually, first I want to click to add the track to the icon. So first let's add a transform. Let's open it, and the scale. Let's make it 1.2 when the game starts, or on the 0 seconds. 1.2. Let's go to the 0.5, and let's make it 1 and 1. So now it basically just goes smaller. Okay. Now what we want to do here is, let's go to the 29.5. So 29.5 should be here. 29. Oh shit. 29.5, like that. And now let's click the scale. We can actually click from this, the scale plus from here. So it has both the scale things. Okay, and now let's go to the 30. And now let's change these values to 0 and 0. And now there's one more thing we want to do, or actually I want to do. I think this animation will look super nice after we have done this. Let's go back to 0. And now what we want to do here, we want to add that render opacity once more. I just wanted to delete it before, so we can delete all those keys that we had there. Okay, and from the start, what we want to do, I will actually have to check because I don't remember correct. Okay, yeah. So 1, let's add a key on the second as a 0. And now we want to go to the time 20. Let's actually control and scroll so we can zoom. Let's go to 25.5. 25.5. Now we want to make this, I think we want to make it like 0.5. Yeah, let's make it 0.5. And now after like a half second, I think it was half second. Oh, yeah, half second. Yeah, sorry. I will. Okay, now it's better. So at 26, we want to make it 0 and 26.5, if I can get there like that, to 0.5. 27, we want to make it 0. Let me check. 0.5, 0, and on the 27.5, we might want to make it like 0.5, or wait, 0. Here is 0, here is 0.5. Okay, 28, we want to make it 0 once more. 0.5, 0. Now we want to make it from the 28 point. Shit, this is hard. I forgot. It's 0 here. So 28, I will have to choose. 28.5, we will want to make it 0.5, and here 29, we want to make it 0, and here 29.5, we want to make it 0.5, and now I will have to check. So 0, 0.5, 0, 0.5, 0, 0.5, and the last one I think I want to make it 0 on the 30 seconds. 0, like that. Okay, now we can compile and save. I will show you. This animation will look super nice, at least I think so. Okay, I actually think we have all done here for this part. Let's check. And actually, let's add another of those power-ups there. So another one. Oh, my Unreal is glitching once again. It doesn't show the other one here, but yeah, let's make it like 90. It's somewhere around there. And move it to there. Okay, let's play and see. Okay, if we get this, you can see. You want to check this part. Oh, yeah, the animation is playing, and you can see it will start to fade away slowly. So, keep eye on the 2x x2 icon. You can see it's starting to fade away slowly, and when it's like now it starts to flash, and after 5 flashes, it will go away, as you can see. And yeah, I actually want to set the round to be a little bit lower because yeah, that was pretty bad. Ah, shit. Okay, I hope I didn't lose much stuff, but yeah, let's check. So, when we get it, and actually when it starts to fade, okay, this will take pretty long. But when it starts to fade and we get the new one, it will, oh, the round didn't save. Okay, let's check. When we get it again, the timer will start from 0. You actually cannot see how it really works now that we only have one of those. But in the next episode, we are going to add the insta-kill, and then you can see correctly how they work. But yeah, we will actually also have to add the functionality to that. Now we only have the icon, so sorry about that. What we will want to do is we want to go to the player. Where is it? Oh, maybe not. We can actually do it on the HUD. Let's go to the PlayerHud. And there, where we have the increase points. So let's go to the graph and to the event graph, and let's find our increase points. It should be this one. Yeah. Okay. Now let's move. Let's actually give some space to that thing. Let's move this play animation a little bit further, and also this. What else? What else? What else? Oh, let's move this set points also to here, also this to here, and points. Let's actually do it this way. Let's delete this link, move the points up here, and let's get from this one to the bottom one, so it's a little bit cleaner, I think. Oh, I didn't want to do it that way. Okay, so now that we have this here, what we want to do here is we want to actually get a select from this one. Select integer. And sorry, my brain isn't working. Let's move all these further. So, and let's delete this also. So now we have this select. What we want to do here, we want to get the SPP first person character, and we want to get the power ups in use, like this. And from here, we want to get, I'm going to get the first one because that's our double points. And let's connect to the big A. And now from here, we want to multiply, connect it to the A and make it multiply it by 2, like that. And now, if it's the B, so if that's not true, then we want to connect to the B. So it will use the normal amount if that's not true, and if it's true, it wants to double it. And now we want to also get from this, select int and connect it to the plus, like that. So now it will work correctly. Sorry about that. So yeah. Okay, let's compile and save, and I think now it should work. So normally I will actually buy this. Okay, let's check. Normally I get like 10 points and 50 for the kill. Now with the double points I get 20, 20, 20, 20, 100 for the kill. And we can later also add some things so the text will be a different color or something like that when we have the double points active. But yeah, let's do it later. But now you can see it works. We get 20 points per each shot. Like, yeah. Okay, it's working, and let's say if when it goes away, if it stops working. Oh, we got the... Oh shit. Let's wait for a second, them to spawn back. Let's see, now it should only give us 10 points. And 50 for the kill. Yeah, it works. So yeah, I think that was all for this video. If you like what you saw, please click the like button. This took me like super long to do because the code for the slots to work correctly was pretty hard. I tried to do it easy way first, but the like fading animation and stuff like that didn't work correctly. Yeah, so yeah, please click the like button and subscribe. I will do the insta kill also today. So yeah, it will be uploaded like a few hours later. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.